Meghan's Moment, Harper's Bazaar Winter Edition 2025 cover story. This cover is the culmination of a conversation that began 5 years ago. I am eternally grateful to Meghan and her wonderful team for their collaboration and trust. Samira Nazar, Editor-in-Chief, Harper's Bazaar. This is the story of a woman who has lived at the intersection of sparkle and scrutiny. Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, mother, founder, friend, has been scrutinised, celebrated and vilified in equal measure. Yet through it all, she has chosen to lead with authenticity, with warmth, and with resilience. Her journey is not just about royalty or celebrity. It is about the courage to define yourself when the world insists on defining you. It is about the bravery to show up for children, friends, and to keep showing up even when the spotlight burns. Today, we step inside her circle, from childhood lessons in resilience to the quiet strength of her family, to the playful creativity she shares with Harry and the legacy she builds for her children. This is not just Meghan's story. It is a story about power, presence, and the freedom to live authentically. After years of being subsumed by other people's narratives, the Duchess of Sussex is ready to author her own next chapter. This is a bold testament to love, leadership, and self-worth, a narrative that resonates deeply for women in business and personal empowerment. This is the kind of story that commands attention on YouTube and podcast platforms, where authenticity and emotional resonance drive engagement. I think the moment that you start making all of your personal decisions based on external judgment, then you lose your authenticity. Meghan's circle of trust is small, but it is strong. When she speaks of her husband, she places her hand over her heart. He loves me so boldly, fully, she says. No one in the world loves me more than him, so I know he's always going to make sure that he has my back. With Harry, there is playfulness, a childlike wonder that drew her in from the start. That's translated into every part of our life, she explains. Even in business, I want us to play and have fun and explore and be creative. That spirit of play, Meghan says, was first nurtured by her mother, Doria Ragland. Meghan describes herself as an old soul, born that way, while her mother was a free spirit. Together, they were a close duo. Doria, a travel agent for part of Meghan's childhood, would use her employee discounts to take her daughter to Mexico. Her maternal grandmother, another strong single woman, lived just around the corner. It was there that Meghan learned about food. Her mother wasn't a regular cook. Mornings were carnation instant shakes, lunches were deli sandwiches, sometimes an attempt to mimic the Subway ads Meghan had seen. But her grandmother's garden was different. From Tennessee roots, she grew greens and made preserves, teaching Meghan the rhythm of food prepared with care. So much of Meghan's life, her love, her creativity, her resilience, is rooted in these women. A husband who brings joy, a mother who taught her to play, a grandmother who taught her to preserve. Together, they shaped the woman who now stands at the intersection of legacy and authenticity, carrying forward lessons of love, laughter, and sustenance. Meghan describes her childhood as one of close ties, though her parenting style today is very different from her mother's. She's made it study books, apps, conversations, a diligence that has turned her into an authority within her circle of friends. Serena Williams says, "She's just so smart, and I feel like no matter what, I can always learn from her." But growing up, Meghan's vision of motherhood came as much from media as from the women around her. She remembers the sitcom mums of TGIF and the Archie comics that sparked endless debates. Betty or Veronica? Meghan laughs. Betty, of course. She was so nice. The Los Angeles of her childhood, diverse working-class neighborhoods, Erewhon before it was cool, has changed. Last winter, fire decimated communities like Pasadena and Altadena, places where Meghan once spent her adolescence. I saw homes where I used to have sleepovers reduced to ash, she recalls. In the aftermath, she and Harry volunteered with Chef Jose Andres in World Central Kitchen. For Meghan, it wasn't just about giving aid. Can you treat it with the same level of care that you would if you had lost everything? Inside, a wooden desk, worn but handsome, sits beneath a tarp printed with a nature painting. It looks like something straight out of a movie. An archaeologist's field station waiting for discovery. Outside, a group of 11 and 12-year-old girls from a local STEM academy gather in their purple and grey uniforms. They're buzzing with curiosity, unaware of who they're about to meet. A golf cart pulls up. The gravel crunches beneath its tyres. And then the announcement, the Duchess of Sussex. Meghan steps down. Wide leg trousers, silk blouse, diamond studs glinting in the sun. A gift from her husband, Prince Harry, picked up on a recent trip to Kiev. But what makes this moment extraordinary isn't the fashion, it's the history. Meghan lived just blocks away as a child. She remembers riding here on the back of her mother's bike before she was old enough to pedal on her own. This isn't just a visit, it's a return. A reminder that legacy isn't only about what we build, it is about where we come from and the stories we carry forward. Stay with us, because today's conversation isn't just about fossils or science. It's about memory, mentorship, and the power of women showing up for the next generation. Inside the tent at the La Brea tar pits, boxes of dirt and bone specimens sit waiting on a table, a reminder of the deep past. A museum educator begins to explain their meaning, but the real focus is Meghan. She leans into the girls' world with ease, asking one about her nails, another about her studies. When a girl mentions her love of languages, Meghan's face lights up. She shares her own journey, learning French on Duolingo, proudly celebrating a 90-day streak. Then comes the group photo. The girls gather, some looking straight into the lens, others squinting or glancing away, caught in that tender moment when self-consciousness first begins to bloom. Meghan, 44, stands at the centre. Unlike girls, her awareness of being seen is not imagined. It is constant, unrelenting. Yet she bridges the gap between their world and hers with empathy. Later, she reflects, I don't know how any woman could see a young girl and not see herself in her, especially at that age. This moment is more than a photo. It is a mirror of girlhood, of womanhood, of the shared experience of being watched, and the resilience it takes to stand in the middle of it all. When Meghan Markle became engaged to Prince Harry in 2017, the world shifted. She was already known, an actress on Suits, the creator of a lifestyle brand called The Tig. But suddenly, she was thrust into global superstardom, caught in a storm of fascination that was equal parts adoration and vitriol. Their union scrambled the narratives people thought they knew. She was American, he was British. She was biracial, he was the face of an imagined monoracial Britain. She was a working actress from a modest family. He was a royal. Depending on who you asked, their marriage symbolised either the triumph of progress or the downfall of tradition. And then came 2020. The announcement that Meghan and Harry would step back from royal duties, what tabloids branded Megxit, became a cultural inflection point. Was this a rejection of generational trauma, or proof that millennials were unwilling to endure hard work? In all of those debates, one thing was lost: Meghan's agency, her humanity. There's no such thing as perfect, Meghan has said. I too get to make mistakes. And there's not a lot of fun in trying to be perfect. So why try to do that if you want to have fun? Terry Wood, who worked with Oprah Winfrey and produced Meghan's podcast Archetypes, put it this way: "She knows how she comes across, and she knows how she wants to connect. She understands that so much has been written about her that when she does something, she wants to break through that noise so people see that she is authentically trying to be herself." Today, Meghan's fame is irrevocable. But the question is no longer how the world defines her. The question is, what does she do with that power? In the 5 years since leaving the firm, Meghan has built projects that reflect her life as a mother and a creator. With Harry, she launched the Archwell Foundation, dedicated to show up, do good. She signed deals with Lemonada and Netflix. She introduced With Love, Meghan, a lifestyle series where she welcomes friends into a California home to cook, craft, and garden. Alongside it, she launched her brand As Ever, offering candles, preserves, flower sprinkles, and wine. After years of being written into other people's narratives, Meghan is now writing her own. A life that feels authentic, a career that reflects her values, and perhaps, most importantly, she is allowing herself to enjoy it. There's no such thing as perfect. I too get to make mistakes. There's also not a lot of fun in trying to be perfect. So, why try to do that if you want to have fun? After years of being written into other people's narratives, Meghan is now writing her own. A life that feels authentic, a career that reflects her values, and perhaps most importantly, she is allowing herself to enjoy it. The morning at the La Brea tar pits has ended, but the day continues. Now, we're walking beneath the iconic green and white awning of the Beverly Hills Hotel into the Polo Lounge, a place where Hollywood has long come to see and be seen. Through the cream-carpeted lobby, out onto the patio, the notes of a live piano player follow us like a soundtrack. It is here, at a circular table tucked into the corner of the garden, that Meghan and the interviewer sit down for their first interview. The seat is deliberate, prime enough to watch the room, and to be watched in return. They order a burger and fries for the table. Meghan chooses the Polo Power Bowl. When it arrives, she lifts it with genuine delight, marvelling at the rainbow of produce arranged just so. It's a small moment, but it reveals something essential. Her joy in the details, her ability to find beauty in the everyday. As they talk, Meghan pauses to greet restaurateur Michael Chow, recalling how his restaurant catered a recent birthday for Prince Harry, or H, as she affectionately calls him. Moments later, she leans in for a whispered exchange with a film titan, her presence commanding yet approachable. This is Meghan's world now, a blend of legacy and reinvention, of public scrutiny and private delight. Even here, in a room designed for spectacles, she chooses authenticity. She shows us that influence isn't only about being seen, it's about how you show up, how you connect, and how you savor the rainbow in front of you. How do powerful women flex? Do they lead with dominance or with deference? Meghan Sussex seems to lead with something else entirely: affability. The warmth with which she greets each person, the way she holds eye contact, the openness she brings to conversation. It's genuine and it's disarming. It's a skill she's honed since childhood. "I was such a little nerd," she laughs. Her identity was wrapped up in being the smart one. Like me, Meghan is an elder millennial, born in 1981, part of a generation often maligned for our insistence on authenticity and social justice, and teased by those younger for believing the world is capable of change. She remembers being 11, the same age as the girl she met at the tar pits. 11, when she graduated from Hollywood Little Red Schoolhouse. 11, when she wrote a letter to Procter & Gamble protesting gender stereotypes in advertising. 11. When the 1992 Los Angeles uprising unfolded before her eyes, smoke filling the sky, as falling like snow, windows smashed, people running with boxes of diapers. It was terrifying, she says, but unforgettable. It was cinematic in a way I don't think many people can understand. And yet, through it all, Los Angeles endured. It was scary, Meghan reflects, but LA survived it. The city is resilient. That resilience shaped her. Even as a child, she was the one coordinating, organising, facilitating, the host of her own little makeshift games, the one who could bring people together. And now, decades later, she carries that same instinct into every room she enters. Meghan's power isn't about dominance. It's about presence. It's about empathy. It's about seeing herself in the vulnerability of young girls and remembering the 11-year-old she once was. It's about leading with warmth and showing that resilience, authenticity, and connection are their own kind of strength. Meghan Sussex's story is one of circles closing, of life returning to familiar ground with new meaning. From the fossil-rich soil of the La Brea tar pits to the polished patio of the Polo Lounge, her presence carries both history and hope. At the tar pits, she leaned into the curiosity of young girls, asking about their nails, their studies, their dreams. She shared her own joy in learning French, proudly celebrating a 90-day streak on Duolingo. Later, she stood at the centre of their group photo, embodying the scrutiny they were just beginning to feel, and reminding us, I don't know how any woman could see a young girl and not see herself in her. By lunchtime, Meghan was at the Polo Lounge, a place long known for Hollywood deal-making. She delighted in the rainbow of produce in her power bowl, greeted restaurateur Michael Chow, and exchanged whispers with a film titan. Yet, even in a room designed for spectacle, she led with warmth, affability as her power. That warmth is not new. It's a skill she honed as a child, when she coordinated games, wrote letters to corporations challenging stereotypes, and witnessed the resilience of Los Angeles during the 1992 uprising. She carries that same instinct now, to organise, to connect, to facilitate. And in Montecito, where she and Harry settled in 2020, Meghan's circle has grown tighter. Among those she reconnected with is Kelly Zyphon, a friend from her 20s. When Kelly's 9-year-old son passed away, Meghan reached out. Since then, not a day has gone by without Meghan checking in. Someone can show up in a time of need, Kelly says, but Meghan always made herself available to all of us. Through Archewell, Meghan and Harry support organisations like the Alliance for Children's Rights. But beyond the headlines, Meghan's power lies in presence, in showing up, in staying, in turning grief into connection. This is Meghan's full circle. From the girl who believed her voice could change the world, to the woman who now uses her influence to build spaces of resilience, friendship, and authenticity. Her legacy isn't just about being seen, it's about how she shows up. For children, for friends, for herself. I like the community of work and the connection, she says. I think a lot of it is in my DNA. Her words stand in contrast to today's trend of valorising the so-called soft life, a life centred on ease, often without work outside the home. Meghan is diplomatic. You should do what works for you, but for her, work ethic is a constant. How you are in one place, she explains, is how you are in other places. That's how I show up at my kids' school potlucks. That's how I show up when planning a baby shower for a friend. And that's how I show up in my business. Authenticity, she insists, is lost the moment you start making decisions based on external judgment. And when it comes to mistakes, Meghan is candid. You learn not to do it again, she deadpans before clarifying. If it all goes swimmingly, you don't learn from it. If you don't learn anything, you're not going to grow. As a mother, she sees this lesson reflected daily. Her children face challenges that feel insurmountable, only to master them with time. I can give myself the same grace as a founder, she says. There's no such thing as perfect. I, too, get to make mistakes. And fun, she insists, matters. There's not a lot of fun in trying to be perfect. So why try to do that if you want to have fun? Her friends echo that joy. Serena Williams recalls endless conversations over mimosas. We could talk for 100 hours, and it feels like 10 minutes go by. Kelly Zafin adds, she's funny. I think maybe that's surprising to people. Serena remembers the first time they met, at a Super Bowl party over a decade ago. Both shared a dry sense of humour, both questioning why they were even there. That moment sparked a lifelong friendship. Meghan herself puts it simply, if you overwork the dough, it's not going to rise. For her, the stress people place on moments can strip away the joy of why they're doing something in the first place. And as Terry Wood, who worked with Meghan on her podcast Archetypes, observes, not everyone who starts a business is under the microscope that she's under. What she is learning to weather and ride out is the judgment that happens when you are that famous. Through it all, Meghan shows us that power isn't perfection. It's presence, it's humour, it's resilience, and it's the courage to keep showing up, authentically, imperfectly, joyfully. The table is nearly cleared, but Meghan insists the fries stay. It's a small gesture, a reminder that even in polished settings, she chooses comfort and authenticity. Harper's writer asked her if she ever feels the need to separate her worlds, work and family. She smiles. My office is right by the kitchen, and I love that I can work from home. It's a great luxury. She describes how her daughter, Lilibet, often climbs onto her lap mid-meeting, whether she's reviewing profit and loss for her brand or brainstorming something creative. The interviewer asks what she hopes her children see when they watch her work. Meghan doesn't hesitate. I hope they see the value of being brave. They saw it when the jam was just a pot on the stove, bubbling. When you're young, you're a little more fearless. As we get older, we lose some of that. Their waiter arrives with an unsolicited cappuccino. In the foam, a photorealistic image of Meghan appears, a snapshot from her 2019 trip to South Africa. She laughs, recognizing it instantly, and takes a photo of the absurd, lovely perk of celebrity. It's a moment that captures the paradox of her life, the ordinary and the extraordinary, the mother at her kitchen desk and the global figure whose face appears in cappuccino foam. Through it all, Meghan chooses to savour the fries, embrace the bravery, and find joy in the unexpected. It's a stormy day in New York when the interviewer meets Meghan again. She's dressed simply, black leggings, an oversized northwestern sweatshirt, her hair pulled back. Her skin is bare, freckles visible. She looks like she could still be in college, a reminder that beneath the titles and headlines, she is still herself. They are in a grand Upper East Side brownstone, the kind of place where history and elegance linger in every detail. The house manager announces, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, even though it's just the two of us. Meghan and Harry are here to receive the Humanitarians of the Year award from Project Healthy Minds, a non-profit dedicated to mental health. They debate where to sit, the kitchen with its oak countertops and patio view, or upstairs via the glass elevator. The choice feels symbolic, grounded domesticity or elevated perspective. In the weeks since they last met, Meghan made headlines with a surprise appearance at the Balenciaga show in Paris. It was Pierpaolo Piccioli's debut, and Meghan wanted to support him. We kept it a secret, she says, smiling. It was really fun. But beneath the glamour, she reflects on something deeper. You find different ways to protect yourself, whether that's self-preservation or it's just growing up. She loves being able to do both, to play in the sandbox with her children and to sit front row at a fashion show. For her, authenticity is the anchor. The moment you start making all of your personal decisions based on external judgment, she says, you lose your authenticity. The interviewer points out that multidimensional women often face criticism. Meghan doesn't hesitate. She deadpans, "Wow, yeah." She admits her boundaries grew stronger once she entered the public eye. "I could think of any adjective to fill the blank," she laughs, "and it would probably work." You find different ways to protect yourself, whether that's self-preservation or it's just growing up. And there it is, the balance of her life. The storm outside, the simplicity of her sweatshirt, the grandeur of the brownstone, the spotlight of Paris, the quiet of her children's sandbox. Meghan's story is not about choosing one world over another. It's about holding them both and protecting the authenticity that makes her whole. Now, you've heard of Oprah's favourite things, right? That annual list that turns small businesses into overnight sensations. It's not just about the products. It's about the feeling, the story, the excellence. When Oprah Winfrey selects a product for her annual favourite things list, it's more than a holiday endorsement. It's a cultural coronation. For small business owners, it can mean the difference between surviving and scaling. And in 2025, Meghan Sussex's As Ever fruit spreads joined this elite club. The Duchess of Sussex shared the exciting news that her signature fruit spread gift box was selected for Oprah Winfrey's annual holiday wish list, Oprah's favourite things. As Ever's latest newsletter, quoting the billionaire media mogul, Oprah's endorsement. As Oprah says on oprahdaily.com, before my neighbour Meghan started her business, she shared her homemade recipes with us. I love to drizzle it on an English muffin or yogurt or ice cream. I also love bringing a jam or preserves as a hostess gift. And with this pretty box set of orange marmalade and raspberry and strawberry spreads, just add a bow and you're ready to go. Meghan added, "We're honoured to be included in the season's quintessential guide to gifting. So much love is poured into each recipe to bring the brightness and warmth of the garden to your home in every season." Being featured on Oprah's favourite things can catapult a brand into national spotlight, with some products seeing sales increases of up to 2,000%. Meghan Sussex's As Ever brand is the latest to join this legacy, and the impact is already unfolding. The As Ever Instagram page also shared a video celebrating Oprah's selection. We're on at Oprah Daily, Oprah's favourite things 2025. Spread the news. Our signature fruit spread gift box is the must-have gift of the season. Hip, hip, hooray. Now, you've heard of Oprah's favourite things, right? That annual list that turns small businesses into overnight sensations. It's not just about the products. It's about the feeling, the story, the excellence. When Oprah Winfrey selects a product for her annual favourite things list, it's more than a holiday endorsement. It's a cultural coronation. For small business owners, it can mean the difference between surviving and scaling. And in 2025, Meghan Sussex's As Ever fruit spreads joined this elite club. The Duchess of Sussex shared the exciting news that her signature fruit spread gift box was selected for Oprah Winfrey's annual holiday wish list, Oprah's favourite things. As Ever's latest newsletter, quoting the billionaire media mogul, Oprah's endorsement. As Oprah says on oprahdaily.com, before my neighbour Meghan started her business, she shared her homemade recipes with us. I love to drizzle it on an English muffin or yogurt or ice cream. I also love bringing a jam or preserves as a hostess gift, and with this pretty box set of orange marmalade and raspberry and strawberry spreads. Just add a bow and you're ready to go. Meghan added, "We're honoured to be included in the season's quintessential guide to gifting. So much love is poured into each recipe to bring the brightness and warmth of the garden to your home in every season." Being featured on Oprah's Favourite Things can catapult a brand into national spotlight, with some products seeing sales increases of up to 2,000%. Meghan Sussex's As Ever brand is the latest to join this legacy, and the impact is already unfolding. The As Ever Instagram page also shared a video celebrating Oprah's selection. "We're on at Oprah Daily, Oprah's Favourite Things 2025. Spread the news. Our signature fruit spread gift box is the must-have gift of the season. Hip, hip, hooray." And in that, Meghan reminds us, power isn't dominance, it's empathy, it's constancy, it's the courage to live authentically and the grace to keep showing up. Meghan Markle Sussex belongs to a generation of women taught to seek self-actualization through work. For millennial women, that pursuit was disrupted by the pandemic in 2020, forcing many to rethink what work means. So the interviewer asked Meghan if she, despite her extraordinary circumstances, felt that same shift. As their conversation winds down, Meghan mentions lunch with Gloria Steinem. Glow, as she calls her. They met during the pandemic, shared holidays, and built a friendship rooted in admiration. The house is quiet. Outside, the storm hushes the streets. As the interviewer leaves, the writer glances back to see Meghan turning toward the kitchen, her figure illuminated by the green light of the rain-soaked garden. Ready, as always, to move on to the next thing. But that's just the beginning. Meghan also just launched her powerful new podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, with Lemonada Media, talking to founder millionaires and billionaires. Whitney Wolfe Herd. It's honest, it's raw, and it's redefining what it means to build something with purpose. The podcast Confessions of a Female Founder just won the Signal Award in the category Business, People and Entrepreneurs Shaping Culture. From Archwell Audio to Lemonada Media, this win isn't just about sound, it's about seismic impact. What happens when a royal steps into the startup world and hands the mic to women founders? Meghan Sussex's Confessions of a Female Founder just won the prestigious Signal Award for shaping business culture. And this isn't just a win for her, it's a win for every woman rewriting the rules of entrepreneurship. Meghan's life has come full circle, from the girl who wrote letters to corporations to the woman who now writes her own narrative. She has faced fire, criticism, and relentless judgment, yet she continues to choose joy, connection, and authenticity. Her circle of trust is tight, her boundaries are strong, and her vision is clear: to live boldly, to love fully, and to show her children and the world the value of being brave. In the end, Meghan reminds us that power is not perfection. It is empathy. It is resilience. It is the courage to keep showing up again and again with grace and with joy. Thank you for watching and listening to Duchess of Impact. Stay tuned for more updates on the latest royal news and impactful stories. Give us a super like, super thanks, and remember to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest videos. Until next time, keep impacting the world